Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Saturday to everybody. Easter weekend and kicking it off this Saturday morning with some very warm temperatures. Weather extra time. Wa-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And happy to say that the weekend looks to be pretty good. I'm not rolling up my sleeves because I'm forecasting severe weather. I'm rolling up my sleeves for comfort. But yeah, looking pretty good. I mean, forecast models early in the week. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They kind of were hinting at some storms maybe Sunday night or at least Sunday afternoon into night. That's no longer the case. Looks like everything's pushed back into next week. And Easter weekend, game on. A little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover at times, especially on Easter Sunday. Probably a little bit more clouds than sun. But temperature's very warm. It will feel summer-like with mid-80s. So it should be pretty good. Hi, everybody. Hi, Vacation Valerie. Good to see you on. Happy Easter weekend to you, Vacation Valerie, VV in the house. Planning another vacation, which is good. That's why she has the nickname Vacation Valerie. And she's the hostess with the mostest, and she'll say hi to everybody, which is fantastic. Hi, Darlene. I was just thinking about you. I was reading, I saw some of your Facebook posts, and then I was like, I need to go do lunch, and I still have a gift for you all that I have to bring to you eventually. But take care of that soon. Someday, I'll make sure I get down there. Been a little busy lately, but I will make sure that I get that done. So there's your current temperatures right now. It's really warm for April. The normal high temperature is about 76, or typical high temperature for today would be 76 degrees in Huntsville. And we already have Athens and Decatur in the low 70s and Huntsville almost at 70, which is a huge head start to get to those mid 80s or even upper 80s today. Keep in mind too, it's a little humid if you go outside this morning, and it feels closer to 90 degrees by this afternoon, even with an air temperature of like 85 or 86. So very humid stuff. We also have a lot of things going on today. We tried to talk about them this morning on air, and Crawfish Festival. It's like the Mid-City version. They had like 10,000 pounds of crawfish waiting for us all to go eat it at Mid-City today. I think that kicks off in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. The Slaw Burger Festival up in Fayetteville takes place today, and that kicks off at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. But the food contest of who could eat the most slaw burgers starts at 1:30. Eric Burke challenged me, I guess, on air on Thursday on my day off that we should go up there and try to knock it out. But I might go. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what my afternoon plans are yet, but we'll see. But that's happening. A lot of different community events, obviously geared towards Easter weekend happening today, outdoors, which is fantastic. Also, just a quick heads up to everybody, too, with the rain holding off until Monday now, if you have an opportunity, Huntsville soccer team is in town, and on Sunday evening, Easter night at 6 p.m., I think they're taking on the Chicago Fire, but they're having a great event over at the field, and for the game itself, they're doing dog days. It's actually going to be a dog night, technically, but you can bring your dogs. So if you go to the Huntsville City Football Club's website, you can buy a ticket ahead of time. The ticket gets you into the game, and you can bring your dog, one dog per person. But what's really cool is they're going to have an Easter egg hunt for families, and I think you can come a little bit earlier. There's details on the webpage, and you can also adopt a dog. They're going to have rescue dogs that you can adopt. And I'm a big dog lover. You all know that, and I think rescuing a dog is the right thing to do. And I'm a big fan of rescuing older dogs so that I can give them a good quality of life before they pass. And that's just my thing. But some things to do around the area. I mean, there's always like cool things to do. And Panoply next weekend, of course, which is fantastic. I mean, this is the time of year when getting outside is what you want to do. And with the rain holding off this weekend, we can do that for Easter weekend, which is really good. Turning out to be all right. You make me laugh every time you do that thing. The weather extra. Thank you, Vacation Valerie. I'm glad you get me because I still don't know why I do that. Just because it's an X and I feel like an X. I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet. It was so funny. Eric Burke was here the other day and he was trying to do it. And he's like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. Like, I don't know. It just came au natural. Darlene was supposed to have another event today, but after last weekend, I'm not wanting to go outside. Yes. I saw your post. Yes. So hopefully that, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I hope it gets better for you. When you're outside this time of year, ticks can be a big problem, right? Get those little red bumps. So I am a Lyme disease guy. I got bit when I was 21 years old. Never found the bite, but my knees swelled up like grapefruits. And I couldn't walk for like 3 weeks, and I became anemic. I couldn't eat. It was terrible. I lost like 70 pounds. Now I wouldn't mind that happening. But realistically, though, like if you get bit by a tick, you should have it checked and monitored. You can usually see the big red mark on your skin, and you start to see the rings. So something to think about. Michael says, how do you know what days you work or have off? Michael, it's like a dartboard. I'm like, am I on Monday or am I on Wednesday? I don't know. No, what I do is I'm kind of the swing guy. So my scheduled days off are Thursday and Friday, and I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning shift, and then I work TVL and I work noon. And then I work Saturday and Sunday mornings. In the perfect world, that's my schedule every week. But people take time off. You have to fill in sometimes. And bada bing, bada bang, you work all these weird hours and you never know. Like next week, I don't work that schedule. I'm actually off Wednesday and Thursday because I'm filling in for Eric on Friday so he can have an extra day off, which is well deserved. So I'm like the schedule accordion. Just play me where you need me, and I just go. And I have fun with it. Kind of mixes it up. Keeps it from being stale, which is great. Let me advance the graphic. You don't need to see the temperatures anymore. That's boring. Come on now. Come on, graphic. I wanted to show you this. I thought this was really cool, and I'll explain what I'm showing you in a moment. Hi, Stan Barbie. Good to see you, my friend. Sunrise service. I'll probably not see you tomorrow. That's okay. I'll be watching the sunrise, and I'm hoping the clouds are going to clear out just a little bit overnight tonight. I think there's going to be a lot of clouds tomorrow morning. Now, last year for Easter, we had a beautiful sunrise in the morning. Many of you were commenting on Facebook. I posted it for everybody, and it was really splendid. Hopefully tomorrow will play out that way too. Darlene's like, you can say it. I have 12 tick bites. Yeah. And I tried everything. I actually one time when I had Lyme disease, like 5 years later, I had the reoccurrence, and I actually had to get a catheter put in my arm, and I had to administer my own needle into my arm. And it was, I had anxiety every time because I don't like needles. And I had to do it myself. I didn't have a nurse or anything. It was the worst. And I still have like arthritis because of Lyme disease, and my knee's really bad. But yeah, I mean, the meds, you got to get started early. The faster you get started on them, the better. It's fantastic. Vacation Valerie responds to Michael, yeah, it's hard to keep up with Jeff's schedule. Yeah, it is a little hard. I get it. Schedule's all wacky all over the place. Hi, Christine Tinker from beautiful Bryant. Good to see you on. Let me talk about this temperature graphic for a moment. So where you see the greens and yellows, you see a lot of 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? And where you see the blues and purples, there's some teens and 20s in that, right? There's obviously a frontal boundary in between there that's separating very warm air mass east and the very cold air mass west. And this time of year, it's usually more pronounced in March, but this is a mid-April graphic that's showing the current temperatures. And there was areas that had some decent snow in the Rockies, which is not unheard of in April. I worked out there. They can get snow in August. But the whole point is when you have this kind of temperature graphic, what you're going to have is where those two boundaries are meeting up, you're going to have showers and thunderstorms. It's usually part of a frontal boundary, and that's what we have happening across the U.S. today. In fact, there's a chance for severe weather in parts of Arkansas, Missouri, maybe even northeast Oklahoma. Some very heavy rainfall, too. It's that same front that's going to move closer to our area for Monday, but it's not in a hurry. And the forecast models have slowed that down so much that we've taken all the forecast rainfall that we had earlier in the week for Sunday night out, and we're keeping it more towards Monday afternoon now. But even though that front may move through the area on Monday and then eventually Tuesday, it doesn't bring in really cold air. That air modifies in April quickly. So what it also means is that you can get outside and do some garden time. Miss Claudia was on this morning, and she was talking about her beautiful garden, and I think she's so talented outside. Now, last year she put a garden together, and she had strawberries, and everything was growing, and it was fantastic. This year she went with a little mulch, and she went ahead, and I love her little snail, her mushroom, her globes. She's got so creative outside, and she's got all this stuff growing in the back. Now, we shared a lot of her garden pictures last year on air on the weekends, and you all seem to really like that. And she had some great success last year, her first year of gardening, and she had massive amounts of success. She started again, this is how it starts, and all of a sudden she's going to have tomatoes and strawberries, and I think she's doing cucumbers this year, and some peppers, and I mean, she's very creative, and I love her, how excited she gets. But just a reminder that when you're doing some gardening, obviously outside you want it to be sunny and gorgeous, and that's wonderful. But a little rain doesn't hurt, and we got some rain in the forecast this week. We just caught up. Nobody's in drought right now. We were in this huge drought last fall, but over the course of time, I always tell people, give it time, we'll eventually catch up, and we did. It'd be nice to hit on a little bit of rain this week. I know it's not great for outdoor plans, but with rain in the forecast, you want to hit on those rain chances. You don't want to miss. If you start missing now, by the time we get to July and August, we're in drought again, and we don't want that, right? All right. Hi, Mia. Good to see you on. Mia Marie, I hope all is good. Happy Saturday to you. Happy Saturday. Vacation Valerie being the hostess with the mostest, which is fantastic. I love that. Darlene says, no bullseye and no symptoms. Good. The bullseye is what you're looking for. I never found my bite, my tick bite. That caused me so much problems. It was terrible. So if you happen to be watching on the Facebook stream, I have the comments up on the Facebook stream here. And then I realized that the other day that it's also streaming on my page, and some of you are commenting on that. And then I felt really bad because I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. And so therefore I am going to that page right now. Dave says, can he see the comments? There you go. I can, Dave. There, I'm actually on the so I have the 48 page up over here. I have mine up over here. I don't see anything on the YouTube page. But yes, I do have the comments up on that page now. I see Judy, I see Amy, I see Tamara, and I see Janie, and I see Donna, and then I see Dave. So I do have the comments up. I have it on my page here, and I have it on this page here. And I'm multitasking. This is way hard for Jeff. I'm just letting you know that. I'm not the brightest star in the sky sometimes, okay? And so this all techie stuff, yeah, I'm trying to keep up. And Dave says, yay! I'm sorry, my good friend. You mowing today, though, right? I gotta bust out the mowing forecast. And speaking, if you're gonna you might want to get the mowing in done today, because you don't want to have to do it if Easter. You celebrate Easter, you don't want to be out there tomorrow doing it, but these are your 2 days to mow before Monday, because once the rain gets here Monday and Tuesday, there's still more chances of rain for the rest of the week. I'll time it out for you. I'll show you the 10-day, but here's your winds today. The key number is S or SW. That is going to usher in warmer air. If you see an N or NW there, it's usually coming in from the north, and it means cooler air. So this is going to be a warming wind that gusts to 25 today, and that's why your temperatures take off up into the 80s. And so warm. So there's your afternoon planner. Would not be surprised if we go more sun than clouds. So if you're one of those locations that somehow steers away from the clouds as much as you possibly can and get more sunshine, you could easily go 87 or 88 today. I mean, I'm banking 85 on some cloud cover. Winds back off tonight, more clouds, warm mid-60s tonight. Mid-60s is very mild for this time of year. It's actually something that we'd have more like in the June, July months. And then your 3-day forecast. I kept my little Easter, mostly cloudy. There you go, mid-80s. I had a graphic today. It was really cool. I had a bouncing bunny on it. I might use it tomorrow. It's kind of corny, but it was cute. Rain comes in Monday afternoon and night. We have storms there. I don't think it's a severe weather event. It's more like pockets of heavy rain, thunder, lightning, typical thunderstorms. But obviously for some of you who have high anxiety about thunderstorms, it's still a thunderstorm, and I get that. If you have pets that get upset about thunder, obviously that will have an impact. but overall, like damaging winds or hail, large hail or tornadoes, that doesn't look like the case. But it does look like there could be some brief heavy rainfall with these storms. So I don't think it leads to any kind of flash flooding or anything like that. But honestly, we could actually use a little bit of the rain, to be honest. We don't want to keep missing out on rain. Getting rainfall is important. You got to strike the balance, right? Dave says, I should send you some pictures of my fantastic weed collection. Yeah, I got a lot of that going on too. But I did just clean the gardens out, and they actually look really good. Hi, Roberta. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Thank you for saying hi. And I think I've caught up the comments on this page. I think I did. I see Kate. Kate! What are you doing on there? I see you over there. Look at Kate. Do you see me multitasking? Hi, Monica. Good to see you on. Very good morning to you. And thank you for watching Weather Extra. Hi, Kate. She put Jeff, so I put Kate. K-A-T-E. Capital letters. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Good to see you. What did you say about my multitasking? Jeff, you are more multitasking than you realize. You're always well, you just so nice to me today, Vacation Valerie. Look at you. Look at you being all nice to me. I don't know. I do multitask a lot. You're right. I have my moments. There's your 10-day forecast. What you think? Everybody happy? It's got some rain chances. Hi, Lisa Fisher from Massachusetts. I see you on there. It's good to see you. Talk about gardening. Lisa and her family are amazing at gardening. Lisa always has a beautiful garden. In fact, when I was big into gardening when I worked in Providence, Lisa and I were very good friends, and I went to see her house, and I saw her gardens, and I was very jealous because they were really good. And I'd always get myself some honey, sap, maple syrup. That was it, maple syrup. She would tap the tree and bring me homemade maple syrup, and I would pour it over my vanilla ice cream. Yep, Lisa's very cool. And yeah, she had some beautiful gardens. 10-day forecast. I don't know. We happy about it? How do you feel? Weekend looks okay, just some clouds. We talked about that. There's your Monday, Tuesday rain chances. I kept storms in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but they're going to be like these hit or miss isolated storms. So somebody asked me, Jan asked me this morning on social media, she said, Jeff, what about Friday? What is the timing of Friday? I was like, I don't know. It's 6 days out. I can tell you this though, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday do not look like an overall washout for any of the days. Certainly the coverage of rainfall looks to be more Monday and Tuesday, but there's going to be something Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it could be this little isolated shower here, and Christine Tinker and beautiful Bryant gets a shower in a thunderstorm and nobody else gets one, So it'll be something that we're watching. For now, I left the following weekend dry. Keep in mind, Panoply starts next week, and so obviously we want the weather to cooperate for that. Last year it worked out really well. It was a little breezy one day, and somebody in one of the concessions, I was walking around, she recognized me, she goes, it's awfully windy. I'm like, it could be pouring and it could have severe weather like Panoply has almost every year. So just be happy about the breeze and sunshine. You're okay. Sell your products. You're good to go. And it turned out to be pretty nice. I think we're actually going to be, I don't know if I should spread rumors, but I think TVL is live on Friday out the Panoply, and I think I might be going out there depending on the weather and stuff like that. I don't know. This is all in the works. I saw emails on my days off, and I'm sure somebody will let me know where I need to be, and I'll figure it out by the time we get there. But we might be live out there, which is really cool. And I volunteered my time last year to be one of those gate checker people where you come in, you give me your ticket, and I stamp your hand. And I met so many people because I was crazy. I was like, oh, you come in? I was like, I don't know. I was just being stupid, Jeff. I met so many people coming in that gate. I was over in the gate on the far side, and everybody was so nice, and I was having such a good time. Hi, Teresa Smith. It's good to see you. Good morning to you, and you have a happy Easter as well. Tweety, what's up? You said I'm like a Swiss Army knife. Oh, that's so cute. I appreciate that. That's something I've never been called before. I like it. I like it a lot. What I like is when I'm faster reading these comments, it's safe to burn my big limb pile. I think so, Stan. I'd be, monitor it. They're doing a lot of prescribed burns right now. There was a high fire danger yesterday, though. So, I don't really know how to answer that because I see the National Weather Service talks about how there's a high fire danger yesterday and that we did a story the day before of a prescribed fire that was going to be taking place. So I would say I would say no, probably not good with the breezy conditions that can get a little out of control. I'd probably wait to a day that maybe doesn't have as much wind, but that's just me. But very mixed emotions on how I feel about burning this week because we had prescribed burns this week that people were doing on purpose, and then we had a high fire danger yesterday. So I would wait. Find a day that's not windy. Amy says, are there rain chances next week, mostly in the afternoon, evening? I don't know yet, Amy. I know Monday afternoon, Monday night, and Tuesday looks pretty wet. But the timing for the rainfall, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there is no rhyme or reason to it right now. It's just these random showers with these like little impulses that move through, and trying to time each and every one of them out right now is a needle in a haystack. I would strongly want to side that they'd be more afternoon and evening. They might need a little bit of daytime heating to juice them up a little bit. But I mean, the GFS has essentially like showers on Thursday morning, stopping and then picking back up again Thursday evening. Trying to time all that out right now is just it's hard. So I just put isolated storms, few storms, and we'll kind of fine tune the timing as we get a little bit closer. And that's the best I got. I'm really sorry. I wish I could fine tune it a little bit more, but that would be above my pay grade. Tax season over for Vacation Valerie, which is good. She also says rain is good. It makes the gardens grow, and it makes the weeds grow too. But I agree. You got to have a little rain to make the gardens look good. How about your roses, oh, by the way, everybody? You have knockout roses in your garden? They are already out of control. My garden, I planted these roses last year. They're like 5 times bigger than they were last year, and they are already blooming beautiful red and pink, and it looks awesome. Michael says, what food would you eat all your life? That's a no-brainer. Pizza. Yeah. Any kind of pizza, too. I don't care. You can put anchovies on it, and I will devour it. Yep. You like anchovies? Tatiana? She says, nope. What's your favorite pizza?
Meat lovers.
Meat lovers. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, do you do pineapple?
I do. Do you? No. My face is turning red. So I'm not really a big pineapple guy on a pizza, but I will eat it, like a Hawaiian pizza. I will. But any kind of pizza to me is good. Obviously, the more sausage, bacon, pepperoni, and anything you want to put on it is good for me. I like taco pizza, too. That's a good one for me. Yeah, a little spicy, too, which is good. Get you right here. And I do eat anchovy pizza as well. Yep, things you need to know about Jeff Desnoyers. Anchovy pizza is good. I love anchovies. When I was a kid, I used to eat anchovies literally out of the container with a saltine cracker. And I was like 9 years old. What was my mom thinking? Yep, that's where it all started. I saw Amy's comment. I'm having trouble with this. I'm sorry. I'm hitting the wrong button. Stan says, thank you. Amy says, I refuse to mow. If it's just going to rain on it immediately, it's a battle I can't win. Yeah, I mean, I think your best bet then, Amy, would be to mow right now. Not now. Wait, when I'm done talking and you have to get off the Facebook Weather Extra or whatever Weather Extra, wherever you're watching it, because I got to remember it's not just Facebook. But I would probably try to mow today, because that gives you at least almost 48 hours before it's rainy again. That would be my best bet. If you hold off until tomorrow, your rain's going to come 24 hours later. And trying to mow in between the rain Monday through Friday is going to be like, yeah, that's not going to probably work. But Chui says, call your local fire department about burning. Yes, yep, that's a great advice. I would suggest just not doing it myself right now. We're too windy. But some areas, I don't think there's any restrictions on burning right now, though. But there was a high fire danger yesterday, though. It's a little different down here, Tweety, a little different, because they do have prescribed burns down here for a reason, to kill some of the undergrowth, because everything grows like out of control here. Hi, Molly. She said, happy Easter and have a good weekend. You do the same. All right, said hi to Teresa. Look at me keeping up with comments on that page, too. And this page, too. Vacation Valerie talks about the roses. They're blooming like a champ. I totally agree. And Hawaiian pizza is her favorite. Tatiana and Vacation Valerie, you're not going to get pizza together. No. Do not allow that. Hi, Kristen Ray Jenkins. Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Where am I at? 8:45? I'm doing pretty good. Babble for about a half hour, right? How long? I'm just leaving the 10-day up. There's no, for anybody who's checking in, there's no severe weather in the forecast. I'm literally having a latte with you this morning and just chilling out for a little while. For those of you who aren't aware of this, I do this every Saturday and Sunday morning. It's called Weather Extra. And I'm on about 8:15 or 8:20. Depends when Tatiana and I get it all put together. And then she does all the work. I just stand there and talk to her. And then we go ahead and I hang out here for about a half hour with y'all and talk about the weather. If it's a severe weather day, I'm a little bit less casual and a little bit more serious. If it's feet up on the desk kind of forecast, I can sit here and really kind of talk about other things, which is kind of cool. And I try to answer as many questions as I can. If you're watching and you're one of the eyeballs and you have a question or you want to say something really nice, if you say something mean and hurt my feelings, I'll cry. But if you say nice things to me, I'll talk to you all day. Amy, if I mow now, then I'm one of those old people that mows when it really doesn't need it. I'm that old person. I'm that old person that will mow when it doesn't need it just so I don't have to mow when it gets closer to a rainy day, if that makes any sense. I'm that guy. Yes. Actually, I mowed last weekend in the yard. It's all weeds, but like when it gets cut, it looks like it's not weeds and it looks good. I've got an edger now, and I edged the driveway and the sidewalk, and it looks like professionally done. Like, who am I? And then, actually, I have some help. And then the gardens, I put new mulch in, and I don't know if they looked as good as Claudia's, but my gardens are out of control. I was talking to my neighbor yesterday. Her name is Glow, and she's really awesome. Glow and Ryan. Their son Jordan lives next door. And I was talking to Glow, and I told her, I said, when I put this stuff in the garden, it was like this big. Now look at it. It's all grown across the fence. I got to trim some of the forsythia because they're starting to like kind of grow up and over the fence and stuff. But my rose bushes are huge, and they're awesome. And my cannas are all starting to blossom. My Sylvia is going crazy. My cypresses are always yellow and beautiful. My phlox color is turning, but my hydrangea is going awesome. Like it's like really big this year. So anyway, if you have any garden pictures and you have some progress making waves in your garden already with all the beautiful colors, feel free to share them with me. On Saturday and Sunday morning, if the weather is slow, I love sharing garden pictures or whatever you got going on, and I'll try to filter them in on air sometimes. I think it's a great way to keep the viewers involved and have a good time and make it more about you instead of like me just talking endlessly about the weather. That's going to be like the same thing the whole time. All right, Darlene, now you're throwing me curveballs because now I see you on my page. Boy, you're trying to make me like, I'm confused. With our new lot, Rick is riding lawnmower yesterday. It was the first time I'd cut the grass in years. Yeah, so the house that you have, I know where you live because I stalk you. You need a lawnmower that is a riding lawnmower. You got a lot of yard to cut. You don't play games. Stan, have a blessed weekend as well, my friend. I see you. Have a good, blessed weekend. I know you're going to be busy tomorrow morning, of course. Vacation Valerie says, I have a guy that mows every 2 weeks. That's pinky out bougie right there. Pinky out, 2 weeks yet. I like to mow. I don't mind it. Of course, ask me how I feel about that when it's 97 degrees out in July and I have to mow. I just sweat. Amy, I got rid of my guy when I retired. It's my exercise. And that's kind of how I feel about when I do it. I get a little exercise, but I like to mow. I like going out there and just taking care of the yard. It's like, I feel like it's my duty. But I'm telling you this, the older I get, the more I think about, but my yard is too small. Like I don't have a big yard. I have like a quarter of an acre. Now, if I decide to buy a house that has a little bit more acreage to it, we're going to think about that again. I think Vacation Valerie, I think he is singing, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I saw that he was talking about how he was going to be at service. We're talking about Stan behind his back right here. Lisa, the girls are yelling Happy Easter to you and Ed. Gardens look like risk of frost will be over around Memorial Day this year, but we'll be testing plant cold crops too. Yeah, so Lisa's talking about that's one big difference between here and where I come from in Connecticut when I worked in Rhode Island. The growing season, like, I'd have to be worried about a frost or freeze almost all the way through Memorial Day. Like, I say to grow in tax day here, and I used to tell people up in Providence, like I worked there in Rhode Island, tax day, I would put stuff in the garden, but I'd always be keeping an eye on the temperatures because you could have a frost or freeze right through the middle of May there. But here, you're usually safe after mid-April, and that's where we're at now, so it should be good to go. Should be good to go. Douglas at Elkton, Tennessee, yard sale, mile-long setup there. Oh, good. Yard sales. That's another thing you can do this weekend. Drive around. You'll probably find a whole bunch of them. The other day, I think it was last Saturday, I was out in Dutton. I think there was like 19 yard sale signs. I was like, I can't even stop at all these. I got places to go. That's another thing you can do today. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. Brett says, sheesh, I guess Easter is the only good day to mow. You could maybe sneak it in today, Brett, if you want. I mean, it is kind of late in the day now. It's almost 9 o'clock. I mean, my day's already done. I'm just kidding. But if you want to go ahead and mow today, you could get it in today. Today and Easter are probably the best 2 days. And I still think that there's time that you could mow Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I just don't know what time that will be yet. You got to give us time to iron out the timing of that rainfall for the end of the week. So, all right. I got to go. I'm holding you up today. You got things to do. I know. I got things to do. It's almost 9 o'clock. I almost just came off the circle. That's what happens when I lift my head up. All right, so there's your 10-day forecast. Chelsea is in tonight. She'll have the very latest on what to expect for the week ahead. We're going to continue to monitor forecast updates and fine-tune that rain chance for you for the week ahead. Monday and Tuesday, got that covered. Just got to keep an eye on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. How much rain? How often will it rain? What timing of the rain will be? And at this time, I just don't know that. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. Chelsea will be back tomorrow night. And we'll have the very latest. We got this weekend covered for you. We're good to go. So everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy the warm temperatures. You might not need the sunglasses all day, but at least it's dry. You won't need the umbrella. And we'll have more in your forecast as we go into tonight when Chelsea comes in. For now, everybody have a fantastic day, and I'll talk with you soon.